So,
No, I want to talk about German
this
butts.
fucking movie you signed?
Here we go.
All right, let's talk about German butts. We're not going to talk about your trip?
Oh, we will talk about the trip. I'm just saying this is the podcast.
Oh, okay, I see. No intro. Perfect. I like it.
No intro zone. This is the no intro zone. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Old Boys Podcast.
And so you immediately intro.
That's right. Well, it's the intro to the intro. It's more of a mini intro. Now, the longer I'm describing it, it's becoming longer and more of not of what I wanted. But hey, that's fine. I just wanted to start the show because we have lots to talk about.
Okay.
Yes. And I also couldn't think of an intro for this movie. Could you?
No.
Exactly. So anyways, that's Dan. I'm Jared. We do a movie podcast. Usually it's Netflix, sometimes Amazon, whatever. And we just review films because we like to do it.
That was
and
the
it's fun.
perfect intro. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now you
Danny
can stop talking, and I don't care about your trip. We could just... I'm going to talk about this film for 5 minutes. I gotta go.
Okay. Dan has pulled out a yellow card. He says if I speak again, I will get a red card.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But yes, so we watched a film called The Vault. What the hell year is it? I think it's a newer film.
2017.
2017. Shitballs. I've lost control of my mouse, so I cannot look anything up. We will talk about that, but first I wanted to briefly mention a trip I went on. And maybe we can hear another story from your trip.
Oh, yeah. I got plenty.
I think you got a lot of stuff.
I got plenty.
So I went to Yosemite Valley.
Yosemite.
The Valley of the Gods. That's not true. It was amazing.
It could be true.
If you ever get a chance to go, I highly recommend it. It is, if you like to look at big ass fucking rocks.
Oh yeah, that's my deal. That's
like,
right up my alley.
The biggest fucking rocks you've
I
ever
sound
seen
sarcastic,
in your life.
but I'm totally not.
These things are so awe-inspiring and giant. Ththese huge, just cliff faces.
Isn't Yosemite where the geyser is? The old,
No.
Faithful?
That's Yellowstone. You're thinking Yellowstone.
Oh.
That's Old Faithful. But yeah, it's so amazing. We went and saw most of it in 2 days. We didn't do any of the really strenuous hikes, but I am so fucking exhausted. We swam in this river, and pro tip: don't swim in a river.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I do it every once in a while.
It's really dangerous.
Well, it says who? You?
Yes.
Are you like some kind of river master?
I am the river monster. Well, I'm not. Could be a river monster, but I don't know. This river was moving pretty slowly, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun, and we're swimming, and there's we're near like a bridge, and the further we're going into it, the deeper it's getting, and we're like, oh, let's swim under the bridge. That'll be fun, because we saw this old lady do it, and we're like, oh, we can do what an old lady can do, right? So we swim under the bridge, and it's like a lot warmer under there, and like, this is weird, and I'm getting creeped out, and I'm like, I don't want to touch the bottom. And so, like, we swim past it to where, like, people are like, oh, that was fun. And this old lady's talking to us. But I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh, geez, that actually took a lot out of me. And we were swimming with the current. And then we had to go back to get to where our stuff was. So I was swimming against the current. It was a bad idea.
Wow.
I was, like, really, really tired. Oh, man. But it was a great workout. But it was kind of scary. I do not recommend trying to swim against a current.
Well, whenever you are swimming in the ocean, you get sucked into a riptide, which is essentially a strong current. You swim not against the current, but like parallel to the current. Mm-hmm. And then you wait for it to like subside. But I don't know how that works in a river because rivers are basically all one current.
Yes, they're always moving one way. Basically, if like I wasn't able to swim anymore, you just try to float yourself and let the current take you. back out to where everyone else is, and then you can just kind of slowly move yourself. Because it was just very deep near that bridge. In other spots, it was not so deep. And this wasn't like a raging river either. Like, the current was kind of slow, but it was just enough to kick my fucking ass.
Wow, shit.
So, I mean, there were like little kids swimming in this water, but nobody was going into the deep end really. And I was like, I'm in the deep end, I'm having fun. I'm like, oh boy. But it was relatively safe, but it's funny because we took a tour, and the lady was giving a tour talking about all the different areas and the Native Americans that used to live there. And she's like, some of the most dangerous things you can do, one is driving in Yosemite because it's crazy fucking dangerous. And then she said the second thing was swimming.
Oh, why is
and I'm
that?
Like, because I guess it's easy. Like, accidental drowning is.
Oh, okay. Thought it was like
pretty
full
high
of
up there.
Magical Native American
no.
creatures.
No, yes, yeah, for sure. But she said rock climbing was the fourth most dangerous. Oh, these rock climbing guys, they're like crazy hippies who live on cliffs. They're out of control. Apparently, they spend. When you see them, they're just like the dirtiest looking dudes. They all look like Jesus, and they just like sleep on the ground barefoot, and eat potato chips. It's bizarre, but they like scale these huge rock faces for days, and they sleep up there. I never knew this. They like set up little hammocks.
I didn't know that either.
They
That's
stab
crazy.
them in there, and they sleep up there. And sometimes it takes them weeks to get all the way up.
What?
And there's this, cliff face called El Capitan, which apparently is like one of the highest cliff faces in America or something. I'm probably getting a lot of these facts wrong. Just look it up. And on average, it can take someone like a week to scale it. But there's a speedrunner, this guy who's like a lunatic, who did it in 2 hours. Just from practice, he was able to do it in 2 hours. And then he mastered doing that without any gear. So he goes, and when you see these cliff faces, it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. Like, it's really breathtaking. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Just looking at all this crazy shit.
I'm sure you took pictures so I can see it, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm going to post all that stuff.
But I bet
yeah,
anything, it's like
I had a lot of fun.
fucking taking pictures in Busan, and it's like it's almost pointless because there's no way to just take it all in on your camera. It's impossible.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't do it justice of the scale, because like you'll go up to these walls and you'll touch the giant granite wall, and it's surreal. It's like when you go to Universal Studios and you see like you go into like Jurassic World or whatever, and you're like, oh, look at these giant rocks and like these. It almost gave me that vibe because of how I guess I'm warped from Universal Studios, but I'm like, none of this is clicking and registering as real to me because of how unreal it is. Because
I know, I get that, because like I felt so
big.
I felt that in Busan, like I'm
Wow,
like, there's
that's
no
amazing.
way that this place can exist because it's so beautiful. Because with Busan, it's like you have those big rocks and waves crashing up against them, but in the distance you see these gigantic sky-rise cities. And it's like, how does this even exist? And like just this whole weird aesthetic, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to go out to
far
Yosemite.
away, but it feels so close. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I do want to go out to Yosemite because I've seen like some of the first really cool landscape pictures in America were from Yosemite in the 1800s, which it's crazy how amazing it looks. And that was on a shitty camera, so I can't even imagine what yours looks like and then what it looks like in person.
Yeah, I've had my camera for like almost a decade, and it still functions really well. This little Canon I have.
Yeah, but it's better than like the 18, like the first camera ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I had a wonderful, amazing time. I 100% recommend it. It was fantastic. I want to go to more national and state parks.
Yeah. I'll have to do that
it was
soon.
fun.
So I have to do that.
Here's the bad thing, though.
Okay.
So we were there for 2 days. On our second day, we were using the bus transportation system, which I would recommend, but now I can't because of what happened. So there are two different transportations. There's the Yosemite transportation that only takes you around the park, which is good, but very crowded, but always on time. Then there's the YART system, and I think they're also run by the park, but they take you out of the park. They either take you to Fresno or to some other place where we were. I can't remember the name of the place. I think it's called El Portal or something. And they, for the most part, on the first day, were on time. And we're like, okay, you get on the bus. It's very nice. we're driving and it's fine. On the last day, we get to the bus stop like 20 minutes before the time we're supposed to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're waiting, and then the bus is just never shows up. The bus just never shows up. I don't know. And we're standing there like, this is a bus stop. We know it. We've seen buses come here. Like, what is going on? And we're just waiting, and then some more people show up. And then we're talking with them, and we're like, I don't know. We're not sure if the bus is going to show up. And then the next schedule comes, bus doesn't show up. And we're like, what the fuck? And now it's getting dark, and there's no way to leave Yosemite if you don't have a vehicle.
Yeah.
And you have to take a bus to leave, or you're trapped there. And it's the middle of July right now. There's hotels there, but they're probably all booked.
Or
they're like booked
insanely
solid.
expensive.
Yes, or we're going to pay $300. So it's either sleep in the street like a homeless person or pay $300. And I started reading some of the reviews, and that happened to people, to where the buses just didn't show up, Dan. Can you even imagine having a bus schedule where you're saying, I'm going to be here at this time, and they just don't show up? Like, what? And you can't contact them, you can't call them, because their office is closed at 5.
Right.
So we're just on our own. I'm like having a panic attack. I'm trying to reassure my girlfriend that we're not going to be stranded here like homeless people. I'm like, this is insane. So there's only one more stop they're going to make at the very end. And some guy comes over and he sees that we're all distraught, all these other people. He's like, yeah, so this happens a lot with Yart. He's like, they miss a lot of the stops. I don't know why they do that, but it's just a thing that they do constant, because I guess he goes to the park a lot. And he says, but usually they never miss the last stop. And I'm like, usually? He's like, I've never had them miss it. And he's like, and I know for sure this is a real stop and they should come here. So we just had to take this guy's word because there's nothing else we could do. I mean, we could try to run to another bus stop, but who knows if we'd have better luck. So It was just so nerve-wracking just thinking of, like, you're waiting for something that you're not even sure is going to come.
Yeah, Jared sent me a text in a panic explaining, like, very briefly what this was.
Yeah.
Because I think you just didn't know if you were going to be able to make it to record today.
Yeah, I didn't know. And I didn't even know if I was going to be like, if I'm dead, you can blame Yart. Ask them what happened.
The coyotes will get you.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. It was, oh, God, it's fucking sucked. The bus finally showed up 3 hours late.
Wow.
3 hours. We didn't get home until 1 o'clock.
That's fucking crazy.
Because then we had a 3-hour drive after that.
That's crazy.
It sucked.
That would I would have freaked out so hard.
Driving in Yosemite Valley at night is insane because there are no lights anywhere. You're just driving in complete darkness against a cliff face and just a drop. Usually there's no railing at all. It's just
thank you.
Hard drop and then a wall where rocks could potentially fall and kill you. So yeah. All in all, it was very fun. But
horrifying.
Definitely some danger.
I got a little story that I remember that I can share.
Sure. Yeah. Tell us one.
So I'm walking through Shibuya. The second time we were in Shibuya.
Shibuya.
We decided that we were gonna like stay there all day. It was like one of the last days that we were in Japan. And we decided we were going to stay there all day. We were going to get KFC because we had heard that KFC in Japan is much better than KFC in the United States.
Really? I was going to say, like, oh, fancy.
It's not. It's the same exact thing.
Oh, okay.
It just tastes the exact same. Anyway, we're walking through the streets, and Shibuya is a big, famous shopping district, like upper class shopping. And I feel this sharp poke on my back. I'm like, okay, that was just somebody who must have accidentally poked me or something. It was strange, but I was going to chalk it up to being on accident. Yeah. And I feel it again, and I'm like, who's poking? Like, my friend who we're visiting, he's not, there's no way he's in Shibuya. He's working. Mm-hmm. And he didn't tell me if he was going to be off or not. So I turn around, and I see this old guy, and he starts asking me for money in Japanese. Like he's making money movements with his hand, and he lifts up his pants to show me that he has an injury around his knee, and he needs money.
Does he look like a homeless guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's trying to get money out of me.
I'm
like,
poking you?
Yeah, poking me hard. I'm like, no, I don't have anything. And then I went in the KFC, and I hope to God he wasn't going to follow us in. Because that, like, I just had a feeling.
Did he understand English?
Yeah, he was talking a little bit to me, but he was talking in Japanese mostly. And he was making it very clear that he wanted money. Anyway, we ignore that. And then later on, I forgot, like, Michelle needs to take, I forgot what, she needed to take some kind of medication. And she needed something to drink out of. I'm like, we'll go find a vending machine because they're all over the place. So we went to go find a vending machine down this alley, and the same fucking guy comes up behind us. He saw that I only got, like, I put 500 yen in, and I only took like 130 yen thing. He pointed to what he wanted in the machine. And then he extended his hand for the change. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. And then I just left. And he like did one of these numbers to me. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I would have got him a drink, but I wouldn't have given him money.
But oh man, I don't know. That was very aggressive and terrifying.
So why I think it was fun to just talk about this instead of the film
is because the film, it has nothing to talk about.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about the vault. The vault is... Let's say the vault is empty, Dan.
I like that. The vault is empty.
Yeah, I think the vault's empty. Danny, could you describe what the fuck the vault is about, please?
Okay. So,
in your own time.
A group of bank robbers come to rob a bank. It's 2 women, 3 men.
Classic.
2 of the women are siblings to one of the men who is in some kind of trouble that is never fully explained, and they are dead set on getting him out of this monetary trouble by getting $500,000 out of this bank.
Okay. So, there's some motivation for you. They got to get the money.
Anyway, all the stupid heist shit that normally happens in a heist movie happens. And then something else happens.
Oh, no.
See, there's this vault that's underneath the bank. It's the old vault from the 60s.
The vault within the vault.
The vault within the vault, yes. And James Franco, who just magically appears in this movie, says, I can help you get in there.
Yeah, magically is keyword.
Yeah, magically appears in this movie. He's like, I can help you get in there. And they're like, okay, fine. And then they get the bills out of that vault, and apparently all the bills are like 1982. And they're like, that's fucking impossible. And spoiler alert, James Franco is one of the ghosts that's killing them. No! Oh, by the way, ghosts are killing them. I forgot to mention the most important thing that was the most original, crucial, important heist adder-upper ever.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine the vault as, you purchased your heist game. And then they add the add-on content of zombies comes in like for $24.99.
The DLC, zombie mode,
the DLC zombie mode for your vault game comes out, and that's basically what the vault is. But like the biggest, like, because the entire movie, James Franco is somehow involved with the crazy lunatic dude that's killing people, but you don't know how he is. And the entire time, I guess they're making you think that he's the lunatic and he's just getting his rocks off. But he's actually the bank manager from whenever the bank was first robbed.
Assistant bank manager? Thank you.
Excuse me.
So, Dan. Oh, boy. First impressions. This movie was just so paint by numbers. Like, this is a movie.
Like, I think my analogy is like the best first impression. Like, that was already my first impression.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fucking DLC for your standard heist movie. It's like, there's zombies now.
This is the most moviest movie I've ever movied. It's just so... And what's sad is the premise is fantastic.
Right.
Like, if you didn't know anything about this film and you went in and you're like, I'm going to watch this bank heist movie, and then holy shit, there's ghosts! It's haunted! That's awesome! But they somehow take that and make it into one of those shitty home invasion movies, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the people in the dumb masks, like it's The Purge or something.
Oh,
and they all are like, oh, I'm going to slowly move towards you and I'm going to stab you. Oh, it's so scary. Oh, Oh, our ghosts are supernatural and they can do anything you can ever think of. Anything. They could do anything, Dan. They're not real. They're ghosts. We could make them do anything.
And what do they do, Jared?
They stabbed you. You got stabbed.
They don't even stab you. They make you stab yourself somehow.
And usually that's not even what you're seeing. They're just kind of like, they kind of just gather around you and they're like, oh, okay, you're dead. They're like weird slow-mo, kind of like the nurses from Silent Hill. They just kind of wiggle towards you.
I see. I was about to make the same analogy and say that the nurses from Silent Hill are much better.
Oh, yes. Way cooler and scarier. This movie has zero horror to it. It is the most unscary movie I've seen in a long time. That's another big problem.
But then it has the editing fixins of your modern horror where like they kind of flash back to the scary part.
It has the beats of a horror movie with none of the horror, and there's like the only thing that they try to make things scary with is the music stings, which are very loud and obnoxious and not fun to listen to. And what is interesting the most about this film is if you look at reviews, there's some people who genuinely like this movie, I guess. I mean, not many, but I just wanted to read this very quickly. Don't let the shitty IMDb rating sway you from checking this out. The only way I would not recommend this is if you like your films bland, vanilla, and by the numbers with everything spoon-fed to you. This isn't the movie for you.
What?
I have a feeling this has a lot to do with the IMDb rating. So this guy's saying literally the exact opposite of what we were saying. And some people found this movie so thrilling and like intense and fun and scary, and I'm
gonna rate
all
that
I
review.
can think of.
This review was boring, bland, paint by numbers, and it really didn't it masked what was truly wrong with that film.
It was like baby's first movie. Like if I watched this when I was 12 years old, I'd be like, "Whoa, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life." It just makes me think that this person
the exact same thing about that.
Well, it's true. Because it just makes me think that if you see this and you think this is really an exciting film, then you probably don't watch a lot of movies. I don't know.
Yeah. I got a couple good films for you. Let me tell you what. We'll start with The Beast.
Oh, God. No. But also, this is just my opinion. I realize that other people can like this movie. That's fine.
Okay. So,
but I am judging
get into
you.
This. First impressions are over. Do you remember last week how I said I don't like the aesthetic look of James Franco?
Sure, yeah.
Like, I just don't like how he looks smug all the time, and I just don't like looking at his face. I don't like his face.
He's not in this movie too much. So.
Well, see, but whenever he's in this movie, what is he doing? He's not fucking talking. He's just looking.
Just smugging.
So guess what? The entire film, and every time I get to see, he's not even acting. He's just doing what I don't like about him.
Thank you. Yeah. It seems like they had James Franco for only like a couple days of shooting, and then they just got all his scenes done and then did the rest of the movie. Same thing with this other guy, Clifton Collins Jr., the detective. He felt like he was in this movie for a little bit and then was just gone for so long. I was almost like, why is he even in this film? Because he's kind of he's a recognizable face.
Which one is that one? Was he the security officer?
He's the drunk guy in the beginning who hits on the lady and then just fucking promptly leaves. But he had he was wired up.
Yeah.
Like his buddy was listening to him.
But then that
somehow,
one girl,
like his buddy heard what he was saying.
Who plays like the thug who's also in Orange is the New Black. Like I get why they wanted her.
Yeah.
But I don't get why she accepted the role. I don't know. Okay, Jared, ready, Ray?
Okay.
I'm going to do some role play here.
Sure.
I
love role play.
I am.
All right, let me get my pants off.
I'm trying to get this movie off the ground, and all I have is an elevator pitch. And I'm going to bring it to multiple people. You're going to play multiple people. Ready?
Sure.
First of all, you're going to play my...
Wait. Let's get in the elevator first, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're in the elevator. Oh, excuse, what floor do you want? Excuse me?
5.
5? Okay.
So
I'm going to go to 6, if that's okay.
Okay. So you are going to play first my
Actually, I think I need to go to 5.
That's fine. It's not going to matter. Just let me get through this role play. Just
look.
Look, you are playing multiple characters. You are wasting our time.
Role play within a role play. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you're gonna play my, I don't know, support system in L.A. Maybe we've written a couple movies together. I'm going to give my elevator pitch to you first. Here we go.
Okay.
Here, buddy, that I've known forever, and I trust your opinion.
Okay.
Here's my movie. Ready?
I am your buddy who is ready to accept this opinion.
A heist movie with zombies.
Sounds pretty good.
Perfect. All right. Next one.
You can make it work.
Next one. To the pitch meeting with the studio exec who's going to bankroll this movie. A heist movie with zombies.
You gotta have to tell me more than that, I guess. I don't know. Kids love zombies, so this could work.
The zombies are led inexplicably.
Sir, are you drunk to this meeting?
Zombies.
This is unbelievable. Very highly unprofessional. You get drunk after the meeting.
So I get my movie?
Yeah. Here's $1 million.
Okay,
I don't
perfect.
know, whatever. Yeah, it only costs $1 million to make a film, right?
Let's experiment with that really quick. Keep talking. Do stuff. Role play's over.
Anywho,
you can talk.
So Dan, positives of this film.
None.
I thought that it was made competently as a film. Like, it's definitely a movie. The editing, the directing, the acting, it's all just the standard bar of like what a film should
$5 million. So it's a pretty low budget movie.
Oh, really? That's a low budget
That's a
film.
super low budget movie. Gross. Okay, here's a game. Ready?
Oh no.
How much movie did this money gross?
$600,000.
$600,000?
Yeah.
Opening weekend?
Yeah.
5,728.
Oh my
God.
God.
That tells me that it was limited release and did not do very well.
Jesus Christ.
It made like 1% of what they spent on it.
I feel bad. We shouldn't even make fun of this movie, man.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. So many people put all their hard work into this film.
Maybe 10%. Maybe that's what it is.
This movie isn't the worst film. It's just it meets all the qualifications of a film. That's about it.
Well, now I'm
not doing
concerned
anything else
about
new.
what the one review was. Maybe that one review came after all the negative reviews, and it was like the director defending it in his own way.
Yeah, like if you watch like Avalanche Sharks or something shitty like that, this movie is leagues above that in terms of like this is an actual film. And like I said, it has an interesting premise. It just, I really feel like it squanders it because it, like Dan said, it becomes just a kind of boring zombie movie. The big thing in this is that, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, a man came in with this white mask, this Michael Myers mask or something. He robs the bank.
It was more like, if anybody has seen the film Behind the Mask, the story of Leslie Vernon, it was more like that mask because it's kind of happy looking.
Yes. What's that film with the lady who is deaf, and it's a home invasion movie? It's actually really good. And I don't normally like
Hush.
home invasion.
Oh,
yeah, it's like
it
Hush.
was the same
It's like the mask
as
from
that.
Hush.
Yeah.
So this guy, and I guess he's mentally disturbed, and all of his plans go wrong, and he ends up making all of the employees there at the bank kill themselves. And then he lights them all on fire. I don't know, whatever. And then all of those spirits haunt the bank, that's a good idea. But then they just say, oh, the guy who did this, he just disappeared. No one knows what happened to him. So he could have just never have died. Why is his body haunting that place?
Yeah, because the story or the narrative, it leads you to believe that he disappears, gets away, and he's at large still.
Yes. Wouldn't it be better if the killer from that actually got away somehow, and then maybe he went back to that bank?
Well, see, that's what I thought Franco was the killer. He was just like, he knew about what was down there, and he was just going to, fuck with them.
So, okay, different theories. So, in the actual movie, the ghost killer guy, he's never explained. He's just a guy with a mask who is a psycho. That's it. And then you have all the other bank tellers they have like the bags on their heads that just kill people. Why are the bank tellers killing people? I don't know. Anyways,
well, see,
they were the victims.
Now this is what I like about the film. So this guy's backstory, who's never really explained, I like his backstory, where it's like he has all these demands set up that are never met, and then he just snaps and goes full on psychopath and just makes them kill each other.
Yeah,
for his pleasure. I liked that aspect of it.
I guess so. I don't know,
but
it was interesting-ish.
Well, I mean, for me, that was the only thing I was. There's
not a lot to cling on to, so it's like that's something you're like.
And
okay,
I was looking for things to enjoy. The other thing that I was very much enjoying was Crimson and Clover, the thing that keeps playing over and over. Yeah, the by Tommy James and the Shondells. I really like that song. I like that band a lot. And some interesting factoid: if you had a hit in the '80s. It's probably a cover of Tommy James and the Shondells.
Really?
So Crimson and Clover was covered by Joan Jett and the Black Arts, and it's a very good cover. I don't know if you heard of a little song called Moni Moni by Billy Idol.
Oh.
Got your Moni, 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 Moni.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now
I don't know if you've heard a little song called I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie.
No.
Also,
anyway,
cover.
Tommy James and the Shondells did Moni Moni like in the 60s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they were popular in the late 60s, early 70s. And then, an even bigger 80s hit, I Think We're Alone Now, was a Tommy James and the Shondells song.
Really? That song is fucking great.
I know.
So, yeah, anyways, my theories on this film of how it could have maybe gone a little, or where, here's some things that could have happened, I guess. The killer was Franco. We thought that, right? Yes. We're like, it seems pretty obvious that James Franco is somehow the killer. And then their big reveal is that he was just a ghost that also worked there. And
it's a pretty dumb reveal.
And it seems like, it was a really fucking lame reveal.
No. It's we have to stop and like the reveal of this. Because you don't know who he is the entire time, and then towards the end, like the epilogue, if you will, the detective guy who's only at the beginning and only at the end is talking to the bank teller. It's like, the person you're talking about wasn't in the bank at all, and then she's not on the security cameras.
Also, the security cameras, Dan, they spray painted all of them, so none of the security cameras should be working.
Yeah. Anyway, she sees James Franco's face on a wall that is with like all these crime scene photos, and she starts shaking. She's like, that's him. But the film is forcing you to be in this mindset of, oh my god, she just saw a ghost, but not like a scary ghost, like I just walked into a haunted house and I fucking saw a ghost, like in real life, and you're trying to get your friends on board, and they're like, just fuck you, dude.
Maybe if this was the first time we had ever thought that there were ghosts in the film, I would be like, oh shit, okay, he's a fucking ghost?
Exactly.
But we've been introduced to that ghosts have been in this film for a while.
But like I said, you're in a haunted house or like a spooky house with your friend who's super into ghosts, and he's trying to get you on board to him. That's what that felt like.
No.
Yeah.
And why would the detective have all those crime scene photos? And like, he's got the classic shitty movie of like, I'm going to take this string and I'm going to attach it to different pictures. And like, are these related? He has all of this up on his wall. And it's like, would he be doing that? Like equating this bank robbery to 10 years ago? I don't know. That's a little weird.
Well,
why would the people who were killed in the old bank robbery want to kill people at that bank? Do you think maybe they want to get revenge on bank robbers? But then why would they want to be working with the masked man? Because he is a bank robber. He's a bad guy. So they would hate him, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? Like, that's a little weird. Like, they shouldn't all be, like, under his power or whatever. I don't know. And then why is the bank man there a ghost? I think we talked about this a little bit too, because we don't know what happened to him.
There's so much that I want to complain about with this film. Normally,
yes,
according to ghost lore, the reason why they leave or they don't leave is because they have unfinished business, yes. But also there is physical tie that they can't leave.
Strong emotions keeps you there.
Well, But there's normally like a physical thing, like, you know,
Yes.
the bank people's, their ashes would be there because they were burned up like alive or dead, and they would have like, you know, maybe a ring that they're connected to, and their souls are unrest. Why is it that fucking dude gets to leave the bank? That doesn't make any sense unless he was part of the money.
Yes, because at the very end, the two of the sisters survive. I don't even know where that first sister.
I thought she died.
How
She
did
went
she
into
even
the
escape?
vault.
Yeah, I thought she died.
She went into the vault, and that was the last you saw her.
Yeah, and then all the monsters were there.
Yeah.
I thought, right? Everyone kept going. They keep going into that fucking vault for no goddamn reason. There are so many fucking scenes
there's
where
a
characters
reason,
go into
my
the vault
friend,
for
and
no reason.
I think you're missing the point that this film was trying to get across. The film's title is The Vault, so there's always a reason to go in the vault.
There's so little to do in this movie. There's just the bank and this lower area, which is a hallway, and the big dark vault that you can't see shit. It's so dark down there, you can't see anything, and I just felt like the locations of what was going on. This movie felt like it could have been a 30-minute film instead of however long it was, because the plotting and the pacing was so slow. It was just like I was just waiting for them to get to whatever they need to get to. And I don't know how long it took for like the first death to happen, but it felt like a long time, Dan. Because you're just so ahead of the film. You're like, come on. Like, I get what's going on. Like, let's fucking get the show on the road.
Jared, go to the IMDb page for The Vault, please.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do something new that we've
I
never
obey
done
every
before.
command. All right. I'm at the page.
So we introduced a new game today, which was how much money did that shit make, or whatever. How much movie did that money make? Let's call
that's
that
how
game.
it should be
That's
called.
what
Because that's really great. I love
So,
that. Okay.
do me a favor, zoom in or click on the poster to this film.
All right.
And we are
enhance.
going to analyze this poster, see if we can get something deep out of it. Because
Okay. Right off the bat, I will say this looks like an action movie. The poster for this seems like they never watched the film and don't know what the film is about.
Correct.
Because this looks like your typical, what you think a heist movie would be. And it's got this dude in the mask, and you're like, I'm not seeing any horror here because there's flames. And everyone's kind of like posing. It's got the 3-face pose. Yeah. This would trick you and make you think this is a totally different film,
Now,
I think.
I will go ahead and say that the man on the left-hand side who is underneath the hard-ass chick, that is the detective, but please tell me at first glance, does she not look like a grandma?
I'll say these two sisters right here on the cover do not look related at all. They look very different. I understand. Yes, I understand that brothers and sisters can look very different and still be related, but they look like they're out of two different movies almost.
It looks like they took, James Franco's headshot audition for There Will Be Blood and just kind of pasted it there.
Yeah, doesn't he always just feel like he's not, like, that blank expression he has is what he has throughout the entire film? And I guess they're trying to, like, evoke him as, like he's supposed to be a ghost, I guess, so maybe he's supposed to act that way. But it feels like he's so detached from everything that's happening.
Everybody, you should be looking at this poster as we talk about it, because it's. I think it'd be a lot funnier if you did. But please tell me, the brother on the right hand side, he kind of has that face like, "What? I'm here."
Yeah, he's like a confused dog.
Like, what's up, bro?
Like, Scooby snack? Then you have this like shitty little ghost in the background.
And then they have you have the three main characters that are super big, but then fourth build is this fucking maniac that doesn't really have a good story at all, or payoff for that matter.
Yeah, if they just would have tied what they were doing to the bank heist better. Like, if there was more cohesiveness between this haunting or something. Like, have, like, a ghost hunter there. Bring the man who wore that mask.
The woman from fucking Poltergeist.
Something like that. It'd be cool.
And, like, try to save all the souls from the evil masked villain.
Yeah.
And then
instead of people hallucinating,
she can't figure it out, so she'll still scream Carol Ann because she's like senile at this point.
Carol Texas. I don't know. I remember what she says. Go to the light, Caroline. That's what she says.
Yeah.
So okay, like I said, the masked guy. If he showed up, but he's not dead, so he shows up 30 years later. He's just an old man. For some reason, he wants to reminisce about his old crime. He's like, I'm returning to the scene of the crime, like memories of murder, and I'm just there to reminisce or whatever and be a weirdo. And then the bank heist happens, and he gets caught in the bank heist. How cool would that be if the original killer was there, and now the ghost can get their revenge on this guy? And also kill the other bank robbers. Like, then the masked dead bank tellers have motivation to kill all these people.
Okay,
instead of
Jared,
being controlled by the man in the mask, which is dumb.
I hear you. But that makes me want to, explain this. If you did that,
okay,
we would have no room for explaining the brother and how he's in trouble. And that was like explained so well in this
60 minutes
film.
Dedicated?
Yeah.
To fucking explaining that great gem. Or how many scenes we had to watch where that bank teller lady has to tell the good guy robber, like, you're a good person.
Oh, that's
you
such
don't
a
want to be
tired
doing this.
trope. Such a tight. Like, if I were to get rid of
I know you helped him.
If I were to get rid of any trope in a heist film, it would be that one. It's like, just stop.
The robber with a heart of gold. Yeah, we know. We've seen it a million times. It's called Robin Hood.
Well, no, it's just like, normally in a heist movie, either that's explained through backstory or through flashbacks or something. So, yeah, we as an audience know he's a good person and he's doing it for a specific reason. We don't need you, an external source, to say it again.
I thought she was a robot. I thought this was going to like flip us over, and this bank teller woman was actually a cyborg because the only thing she knows how to say is like 3 different sentences.
Oh my God. See, all right.
In monotone over and over again.
Wouldn't it
until
be
this
fun
guy's like, you've convinced me.
To do like a Cabin in the Woods type film, but for like heist movies, and just like every stupid trope, like just turn it on its head. So like that woman actually is a cyborg and she like breaks.
Cyborg?
She's a cyborg and she breaks, and like, just oil starts shooting out of her neck.
Just like an alien.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, the white goo shoots out.
Exactly.
Yeah. That'd be fucking rad. Oh, I don't know, man. What's some other shit you want to make fun of? Any scenes, Dan, any scenes in particular that stand out that are good? Tell me some good stuff about this movie. We've been talking bad about it. Let's talk positively. Come on. You can do it. Dan is struggling.
I liked. Okay, this was really
I
done.
cannot lie. Okay,
this was done very well.
I apologize.
Whenever, like, she checks outside, and like all this chaos is happening inside, and she finally checks outside, and there's a shitload of cops, and you're like, oh, because like they don't hear anything that's going on out there. That was pretty cool because, to me, it felt like I was in her head, and she's trying to figure out everything, and she's trying to be in control, and she's not even paying attention to anything that's going on out there. And whenever she finally realizes the weight of the situation, there's that really cool scene where she starts to cry, and it takes forever for her to like, manifest a tear, but then also say, this is what's going to happen. You submit to my demands or people are going to die.
Yeah.
I like that. So the acting in this film was pretty decent. Like,
yes, it was. It's just some characters had more to do than others.
Right.
And it's kind of unfortunate. And like I said, the pacing of it, a lot of scenes really just either felt too long or unnecessary. And I don't fault the actors really in that regard. It's just more about the movie cohesively in general. It just didn't work for me. Okay, but we're supposed to be talking about positive shit. You're bad. You're being bad.
Well, you were being bad.
I'm telling that to myself.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying that
you
to
give
me,
me a
Danny.
Positive.
Danny, you get a positive.
For every one negative thing you say, you have to say 3 positive things. So I'm down 1. You got 3 to go, man.
What is this, a Trump regulation? Boom! Anywho.
It's actually being a teacher. That's how you talk to parents.
Okay,
it's like, if your kid is a total fuck up, you got to be like, well, your kid does this small thing.
Oh, to soften
this
the blow.
Small thing,
Okay,
and this small thing. But here's this big thing that we're dealing with.
Now, your son is very good at wearing pants. I've noticed that every time he comes into class, he has all of his clothes on. Now, he does tend to set fires to my desk, and that is not good. I think we need to...
But at least he eats his pizza after roasting it on the fire. He's a very creative boy.
He does love his pizza. He's a nice little pizza boy. He brings me a slice of pizza every day. That'd be so weird. Anywho, oh God, I'm not stalling. Why would I do that? That's weird. I definitely have positive things to say. Here they come. Strange. They're gonna happen right now. I liked the weird thing of like someone's making a phone call to the police. You're like, oh, who's doing it? And she's trying to find out. I kind of enjoyed the mystery of that. I enjoyed the mystery of, are there really police outside? Because I kind of thought there wasn't. I thought maybe that was a hallucination. Thank you, Catfish. I thought that was a hallucination because all the mind games that have been going on, people are seeing things, they're doing other things. And then like the sniper that shoots into the window, everyone was saying that's very uncharacteristic of what they should be doing. There's no reason for them to do that. There's no advantage to just trying to shoot people inside the building because there's hostages. That doesn't make sense. So I was like, maybe it's all in their head. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So I kind of enjoyed stuff like that of her trying to piece together what's going on. I feel like they find out pretty quickly that it's ghosts, and then
for some reason they need... first 30 minutes. Pacing in the first 30 minutes is spot on. It's like, let's get to what's interesting about this film and go. It's just after that 30 minutes, it's like it starts to like wane a little bit. So and the good brother of the two sisters, I feel like he finds out there are ghosts really fast, but doesn't really tell that to people too much. Even when, so like, okay, when they go down to the second vault or whatever, and they open it up, the safecracker, he dies, right? And when the brother comes in, he sees the safecracker. He's using a drill on his own head, which is kind of fun. The effects were pretty good. And he's drilling his brain in. The brother sees this. And then when he goes upstairs to tell everybody, the first thing he talks about with his sister is that he's mad at her because she is about to hurt one of the hostages, torture her to get information. So instead of immediately saying, one of us has died by drilling a screwdriver or whatever it was, an electric drill into their head, he is more worried about her breaking his number one rule. Of hurting people. Because like, you said we wouldn't hurt anybody. And then after he does that for like 3 minutes, he sits down and goes, oh yeah, by the way, our friend is dead. And she's like, oh, how? And he's like, he drilled himself into his brain with a fucking drill in the vault. And then what do? They're just like, okay, I don't know. Let's keep going, I guess. Why are they okay with that? And then my other thing was...
what the fuck?
Okay, I think there's a lot that brother is not letting on. So he finds out that there's ghosts super quick, and then somehow... he knows that the only way to get rid of them is to light off Molotov cocktails. Because
where does
as soon as he like throws them into each room, you hear the ghosts like going rah. And at one time,
guys, ghosts are weak to Molotov cocktails.
At one time,
put that in the lore.
At one time, they had to include the scream.
Oh yeah. Yep, the Wilhelm, I think.
No, it wasn't the Wilhelm. It's the one from the Star Wars game, the PS1 game.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
The Wilhelm is the that one, that high pitched one.
I don't think it sounds like that.
I'll insert it. It's a high pitched clip. I'll put both of them side by side.
Did you say it was a high pitched clip?
This is the Wilhelm scream, and this is the U-Rog scream. Because that's what it's. He's like U-Rog.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Danny, you're so smart and handsome. Say another thing positive.
Okay.
We have to be more positive.
I could say really minuscule things about this.
The editing was okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the editing...
the director did an okay job.
Whenever we say... okay, this is good. Whenever we say the film had all the beats of a horror film, it's because of the editing and how they flash back really quickly to show what happened in the past and how it was scary, or just flashes to something with the music sting. even though that's trite and stupid and I fucking hate it, it's still good editing. Like, you have to have some form of skill to do it. It's just not for me. That's a good thing, I think, right? It's just something I don't like.
Oh, God. So there's skill involved in making this film.
Yes.
Like I said, it is a competently put together movie. I've seen all of this before somehow with a premise that I thought was original and interesting. They made it into the most mundane thing they could possibly make it into. Because, like, you got Ghost Dan, like I was saying, anything could happen. You could have the phone wrap around someone's neck and choke them to death. I don't know. You could have Ghost in the walls. You could have someone get possessed.
You could have Ghost in the Shell.
You could have Ghost in the Shell. I don't know. And there's like so many weird things you could have instead of just like hallucinating bag people or like hallucinating some lady hurt her ankle in the basement. And you're like, are you okay, people, lady? And he's like, I hurt my ankle.
Band name down.
Oh, so anyways, a good thing. Here it comes.
I liked how she started off blonde.
And became a redhead?
She became a redhead because she was having an interview with the bank, and that's how they were distracted. See, okay, I like the setup where it's like, well, I mean, I guess it's a typical setup where it's like, let's distract all the cops with a flyer down the street.
Even that was boring, though. Like,
Wait a minute.
It took so long.
Who did he say that to? Franco, before you know he's a ghost.
Uh-huh.
He speaks to the main sister.
Yeah. What does he say?
He says,
I don't remember.
I hate sirens. Sometimes you think it's just your house that's on fire. And she looks at him and ignores him. Oh, but that makes sense because she can see him.
Yes. Yeah,
but
everyone can see that guy.
This movie.
What I thought was kind of cool is I don't think they ever showed James Franco getting tied up. I thought he had escaped and he was in an office and it was going to be like a Die Hard situation where James Franco was going to have to like foil the bad guys while there's ghosts or something. I don't know.
Go through the vents.
Yeah. But he just is a ghost man. What's bizarre is why doesn't any of the hostages that are alive speak up and say, we don't know who this guy is? I guess because he was trying to help them? I just feel like I would be like, who the fuck are you? I do like there are certain scenes where James Franco, when he ran up to, this is cool. Okay, here's something good. When James Franco at the end of the film gets untied, even though he's a ghost, which he can't be tied up, I don't know. He goes up to the police officer that's tied up to untie him and let him loose. And the cop looks at him like, he kind of like reviles or like curls away from him like, I don't know you. Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And like people act like they don't know who he is just through their body language. And I thought that was really well done. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Right. And that has to do with the acting. So the acting is pretty much the strongest part of this film.
Yes, it's good. I agree. So, Dan, I feel like it might be safe to say we didn't like this movie very much.
No, I don't know.
So final thoughts. What do you
was
think?
expecting something more, and I didn't get what I was expecting, I guess. Is
the
best way to say that.
My expectations were way too high for this film because the premise sounded really good.
Well, what did we watch before this?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, the Welcome to Willits. And you hated that film.
Which was the lowest bar.
Is what we had. We basically, like, I was ready to give it a chance, and I was giving it some praise, and you're like, this film sucked. So I was wanting so much to like your film, and I'm like, I'm not going to like this. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't like this.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of execution and everything else, The Vault is much better than that film.
Oh, yeah.
But also, both movies are pretty competently made with some pretty good special effects, editing, all that stuff. It's just fell flat. It's hard to make a movie. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it all doesn't come together well. I obviously did not like this movie. I mean, I don't know what else really to say about it. I think there is some enjoyment to be found. I just don't know why you would waste your time.
Right.
Because there are so many other better things to watch. There's too much competition in the world with how good cinema is. and some of these indie movies or whatever, or even TV shows where you're just like, there's so many other things to dedicate my time to. Same thing with video games, I feel like, to where like there's some good games that come out, but there's just so many that I don't have time to get to all of them. So I really have to nitpick. And some people, they don't have the money to get all these games or get all these movies or whatever they're going to do. Or, like maybe some of this stuff doesn't go on Netflix. Thankfully, it's on a thing that you probably already have. But it's the market is tough.
Yeah, the market is tough.
So you got to really stand out.
Don't use tired, narrative structures like heist or slasher
or musical jump scares. That was the
jump
biggest.
Scares.
It's kind of like musical jump chairs, but
with scares.
A man stabs you.
Yeah.
Instead of you sitting down, which is the only thing I really want to do right now. So, Dan, I believe you have a film for us.
Okay, so you have a choice between 3.
The Vault.
Yes,
I
we're going to watch
The Vault
again. No, you have a choice between 3 different movies. You have a choice between a white bummer, a Chinese bummer, or a comedy. I'm
going to go, because I feel like we've been doing foreign films, we've been doing comedies. Let's go with White Bummer.
You have selected 45 years. Baby.
Oh, boy.
45 years.
99 homes.
As Kate and Jeff prepare to celebrate their 45th anniversary, shocking news reopens old wounds and reveals painful secrets about Jeff's past. 45 Years won Best Actor and Best Actress awards for its leads at the 2015 Berlinale Film Festival. The lady, Charlotte Rampling, she looks very familiar. I can't place what I've seen her in, but she definitely looks...
Old people!
Yeah, old people. Old people.
I think Charlotte Rampling is
super depressed.
Pretty renowned.
Yeah, she is. Like, I don't know what she's from, but I've seen her in a lot of different stuff.
Dan, she was in Assassin's Creed.
Really?
The award-winning...
Go on. Tell me more about that.
Greatest video game movie ever created, Assassin's Creed. Actually, that movie was okay.
Silent Hill.
For a video game movie, it was probably the best video game movie I've ever seen, which isn't saying much. But no, I've seen this lady a lot, and I've really enjoyed her acting for sure. Charlotte Rampling.
Well, I have a feeling it's going to blow us away with a crazy slow burn, and the acting is just going to be like, as it progresses and as we find out what this twist is, it's just going to make us trudge through all this bullshit they have to deal with. I think it's going to be good.
Cool. I'm ready for the hurt.
Well, not like
good hurt.
Dark hurting, but,
Oh. I just want to see a good movie, Dan.
I have
just please.
I have since replaced the phrase deep hurting with dark hurting.
Yeah, dark hurting. I wonder why.
Because Dark is pretty terrible.
Yes, there's a movie called Dark that is trashola, if this is lost on everybody. Anywho, guys, guess what? We're at the end of the podcast. I know. You're sad. But it has to end. Everything has to end, including this sentence. I hope this was something, guys. I love you, and I respect you all, and I respect the filmmakers who made Vault and all of their hard work that they put into it. And this is just my opinion, so please don't yell at me. Anyways, Dan. So please hit us up on Podbean. We're at oldboys_podcast. We're on Twitter. That's the thing for it, oldboys_podcast. It's working in the search engine now, I believe. Podbean is showing up at least 4th link, I think. Some of our older links are still there, which do reference our other stuff. So it's all there. You'll get there eventually. But Old Boys Podcast, you'll find us. Danny, please give us your final word.
This is a fun headline from the AV Club. Netflix is making a series about young Sigmund Freud fighting crime.
Weird.